So in this class, I'm going to discuss about how to automate iOS hybrid applications. So let's create a Java class, new class. So let's make it a sample test for iOS hybrid app. Let's create a main method. So for any application or for any platform, okay, so the procedure is create desired capability object and create iOS driver. So if it is a iOS application, create iOS driver. If it is an Android application, create Android driver. So it depends on the application that you are going to test. And then identify the elements, perform actions on those. So this is a procedure for any application or for any platform. This is the same procedure. Create the desired capability object, create the driver, identify the elements, and perform actions on those elements. So this is the 3 steps that you need to remember. So first, create the desired capability object. Desired capability, click on control space, caps, new, desired capabilities. Cap start, set capability type. So you need to say mobile capability type, just not capability type. It's a mobile capability type. Platform name is iOS, right? And the next one is platform version. Capability, mobile capability type, platform version, and the platform version that we are using is 8.4. Okay, it's a device or simulator version that you are using. And the next one is device name. The device name is iPhone space 6. Okay, so if you wonder how I got all these details, so let's open the simulator. So now you can compare these values and the simulator values. iPhone 6 and the version is 8.4 and the platform name is iOS, right? So the next one is the path of the application. Cap start, set capability, mobile capability type dot app. So here you need to pass the file object. It's nothing but the path of the application that is available in your local system. File equal to new file, and the path of the application. So the application is available in documents, Appium, iOS hybrid app. So that's the application part. Copy the path up to .app file. So this is the application path which is available in the local system, and give this file object here. So that's about desired capabilities, the platform name, platform version, and device name, and the path of the application, that is .app capability. Now desired capability object creation is completed. Now create the iOS driver. iOS driver equal to new iOS driver. Two things you need to pass. One is the URL and the desired capability object. Okay, so the name of the desired capabilities object, that is caps here, and URL is something where your Appium server is running and what is its port. So it is nothing but http colon 127.0. and 0.1 colon 4723 slash wd slash hub. Okay, so 127.0.0.1 is nothing but local host, the local IP, your computer IP address. Okay, so to represent localhost, we use 127.0.0.1, and where the Appium server is running and where the Appium server listener port is nothing but 4723. Okay, so if you see that, if you launch it, you can able to see the port of the Appium server. You can see that 4723, right? The same thing you need to give it here. And if you see any error, click on the error. Always click on the error. It shows that import URL. Okay, when you click on the error, it will also give you the suggestions. Okay, so the suggestion it is giving is import URL from the java.net. Let's import it. And click on the error again. It says that add throws declaration or surround with try catch. Let's go with add throws declaration. So now iOS driver is also completed and you are able to create the iOS driver. Now the next thing is that identify the element and perform actions on those elements. Okay, so how do we identify the elements? We identify the elements with the help of locators. Every element on the screen will be having at least one locator, okay. Using that locator, you're going to identify the element. Okay, so what are the different tools which we use to identify these locators of an element? Okay, so when it comes to iOS, we use Appium inspector to identify the element locators. We use Appium inspector in case of iOS native application or iOS hybrid applications, right? So let's use the Appium. So stop it. So before this is called this is Appium inspector, right? This is Appium inspector. So if you click on it, it says that could not launch Appium inspector because first of all you need to launch the Appium server. Okay, so you need to launch the Appium server with some preconditions. So first we'll discuss about that and then we'll launch it. And by the way, so I already explained how to identify the element locators using Appium inspector for a iOS native or hybrid application. But once again, let's go through it. There is nothing wrong in going again and again. First, you need to give the app path. Choose the app path. So mine is iOS hybrid app. Select that one, iOS hybrid app. Choose the force device. Give the device name and then give the device version. In my case, it is 8.4. The device version is, or the platform version is 8.4. And then go to settings. Make sure you give pre-launch application. Also override existing session. Okay, so we are doing all this procedure to launch the Appium inspector. Appium inspector is a tool which is part of Appium, which is used for identifying the element locators. If it is an Android, we use UI Automator Viewer, right? So in case of iOS native or hybrid, we use Appium Inspector. So then launch it. Once you are done, launch it. Take a while. So let's wait for a few seconds. So now you can see that application is launched. Okay, now launch the Appium Inspector. Click on it. It'll be open like this. So there is two things here. One is you can see a input text field. There is an input text field, and there is a button called Go. A button or link, something is called Go. Okay, so we need to enter some URL here, some working URL, and then click on Go, and perform any other action on the. For example, if I type www.google.com and then click on Go, it will open the Google web page. And in the Google web page, I wanted to click on images. Okay, so let's see that. That's what our objective in this program. So click on refresh. When you click on the refresh, the page will be loaded here. Okay, so click on the input field. The input field it has multiple locators. One is type. Type is nothing but class name. Remember, type is nothing but class name locator. And any other locator, we have another locator called XPath. You can use either class name or XPath to identify this particular input text field element. Okay, so I'm going with type. So let's write the code. Driver dot find element by dot class name. And the class name is nothing but it's a UIA text field. So this find element, we know it's going to return a web element. It's going to return a web element. So let's name it as text element. And as it is a text field, let's clear the text field and then do the send case, that is www.google.com. Okay, and then click on the Go button. Okay, so click on the Go button. So driver dot. So before you click on the Go button, first you need to identify the element. Okay, so let's find out what locator we can use it. So click on the Go button. So it has a type class name UIA button and label enabled visible. Okay, again XPath and name. It has a name too, right? So if it has either ID or name, let's go with ID. If it doesn't have ID, let's go with the name. So name is the second priority. Let's use name. Driver.find element by name, and whose name is, let's see it here, whose name is Go. Whose name is Go. Okay, so again it's going to return a web element. Let's take that web element, name it as Go button, and click on the Go button. Again click. Okay, so you enter the URL and you clicked on the Go button. When you do that, you are going to see a Google page. It opens a Google page. So something like this. Something like this. I'm manually entering. It will open something like this. Okay. Now I wanted to click on images. I wanted to click on images. Okay, it's a link. It's a link. So let's refresh it. Okay. So try to click on images. So when you click on images, here you can see that it has name images, type US statistic test, and couple of other things are there. And it also has XPath. Okay. Okay. So one thing you need to remember here is this input text field and go is the input text field, and go is the elements of native applications, and this google.com, this web page is a web application, right? There is a native application, there is a web application combined together, and that's how we call it as hybrid applications. So remember when you are switching from native to a web or web to native, we need to use driver.context. If you want to switch from native to web or web to native, you need to use driver.context. Okay, so first use driver.getContext handles. So this we already did in the class where we are discussing about Android hybrid application. Okay, so you're getting a set of strings, and loop it for, you can use for each to loop it. Context ID. Okay, and do sysout context ID. Okay, so first of all, let's find out how many contexts are there and which context we need to use it. Okay, so let's run this application and find out the context IDs which are available. So you can see that there is a native underscore app, there is WebView underscore one. Okay, so I wanted to switch from native to web to click on the images, link text, link, right? So what I'm going to do is driver dot context. Okay, so what is the context here? WebView underscore one. So it is clearly visible. Native is belongs to the native application. WebView underscore one is belongs to the web application. It's clearly visible. So once we switch to, once you know switch to WebView, okay. So in Appium we use context to switch from native to web or web to native. So in this case we are switching from native to web. Okay, once you switch to web application, then you are eligible of finding the element on the web by dot link text. It's a link text. Okay, what is that link? Images. Dot click. So let's do this way. Let's run the application. So you got an error. Let's look at that error. Element could not be located. Okay, that's fine. What is that element? Command duration 100 milliseconds. So it is only waited for 100 milliseconds. That's nothing but 0.1 second. So yeah, so as I said, it is recommended always you give the implicit wait, driver dot manage dot timeout dot implicit wait. So let's give 100 seconds, not milliseconds. Time unit whenever you are loading a web page, so it's better you give 100 seconds. Okay, now let's run once again. Could be the reason it is appending file colon double slash. So I'm thinking about this could be the problem. So let's type http yes colon. Let's run this way. So let's stop it. Yeah, can you see that it has opened the Google page and it is also clicked on images? Okay, so if you don't do context to web view underscore one, okay, whatever is displayed here, right? So if you don't do that, it will fail. It will fail. Okay. So if you want to switch from native to web or from web to native, you have to use driver.context. But how do you get the context ID? You get the context ID by calling get context handles. When you call the get context handles, it will give set of context handles to you, set of context handles, set of context IDs to you, set of context IDs to you, so that you are printing it here. One by one you are printing it here. Okay, so based on what you need, you append it here to the driver.context and switch from native to web or web to native, depends on your situation or choice. So that's about a sample test for iOS hybrid application.